Maximize your wealth now.
Yes, in business, finance, family, and lifestyle. Think about it. As a certified financial educator, my whole goal for this program originally was to bring business and finance together with spiritual principles and universal laws. And all of it needs to come from the heart. Got it?
Maximize your wealth now.
Absolutely. Yes!
Welcome back to Maximize Your Wealth Now.
In business, finance, family, and lifestyle. This is going to be a show of all shows because I'm bringing you Pat Butler. Pat Butler is a land tycoon in San Felipe, Mexico. And for those of you who don't know where San Felipe is, it's about 4 hours south of San Diego, on the Sea of Cortez. And in San Felipe, you can actually own the land in Mexico, and every lot has an ocean view. So I can't wait to have Pat on the set so he can tell you what's coming up in San Felipe.
That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about that. And we have Linda and Lenore who's coming back, and she's going to share with us examples of her Feng Shui business so that you can see how you might incorporate Feng Shui into your life.
And she's also going to be talking about her own projects and telling you what a difference it made in those people's lives. So you're going to get a how-to today.
Nice. I can't wait.
J.Patrick Butler, the founder and CEO of Club Acquisition Company and a land tycoon developer in Mexico, purchased the acquisition of El Dorado Ranch, a 200,000-acre retirement vacation property in San Felipe, Baja California, Mexico. In December 2002, his company privatized 35,000 of the 200,000 acres to allow foreign land ownership through a trust in Mexico called a fideicomiso. El Dorado Ranch is the largest fideicomiso in Baja with approximately 9,000 foreign land owners. In 2002, Mr. Butler was a regional finalist in the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year and was honored the 2006 Executive of the Year by the Sales and Marketing Executives of Mexicali. 4 years later, the Baja California Secretary of Tourism and the President of the Tourism Developers Association awarded Mr. Butler 2006 Baja Developer of the Year. El Dorado Ranch is known for its beautiful 18-hole championship golf course and received the 2008 Touristic Development Award of Excellence by the Association of Executives for Sales and Marketing. Today, it's virtually impossible to purchase ocean view property in the United States. In Mexico, Pat Butler has made it possible for all of us to own property with a view of the Sea of Cortez.
Oh gosh,
So Pat, talk to us. You know, we hear things all the time about Mexico and all the criminal stuff that's going on. Talk to us about San Felipe, and because obviously I'm down and back all the time. I mean,
Right.
I've never felt safer than when I go there. But I'd love for you to share your perception.
Sure. Well, San Felipe, really, the drive, Shirlene, there's not really much there other than the mountain ranges you drive through from Mexicali all the way to San Felipe. About 10 miles north of town or 15 miles north of town, you start seeing the Sea of Cortez because we're the first real beach town on the Sea of Cortez. It's very safe quarter. The black and white cars are the federal cars, state police and federal police. And then we have what we call the Green Angels, folks that have trucks that are all service vehicles that have extra gas, equipment in case of emergency breakdowns if they find somebody that has actually been broken down on the road. And they're up and down the highway very often. So we've got a very safe quarter there. The roads are not lit at night, so we always encourage people to basically drive during daylight hours. With the improvements that they've done to the Highway 5, which is a federal highway, now it's much, much safer than it was in the past. It's a very safe quarter, so we don't have any banditos or any problem highway. San Felipe itself, and I tell people, there's one way in and one way out. Mexico, of course, has had its challenges with the drug movement and the cartels and stuff. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of cartel activity per se in town. We have been in the past kind of a corridor coming across from mainland Mexico through the Sea of Cortez and trying to get drugs back through the border. And that was one of the reasons that we have the big military base that we have now, which is great. I mean, I love it. Mm-hmm. And we have both the Marines and soldiers, the Army and the Marines. So we've got a general and an admiral, and each one of them have about 250 personnel. And the Marine guys basically watch the sea and movement in the sea, and the Army guys kind of control the highway. So there's an Army checkpoint there. Mm-hmm. And, that's really meant for the safety and security. I mean, as you know, you're not allowed to carry as a citizen guns or have drugs on you. I think the drug law now is they do allow 1 ounce of drugs for personal consumption. But other than that, it's illegal, and the penalties are pretty stiff. Mm-hmm. We're very safe in that regard. I've got owners that have lived there. I've been there 22 years. Some of them were there before I was there, in the original 5 years of National Penn. So you talk to them and they said, well, where I came from in the United States, San Felipe is 10 times safer than where I used to live in California, parts of California, or wherever else they came from. And literally, we have people from almost every state in the Union.
And Canada, too.
You Canadians, we have quite a few Canadians and some Europeans. Yeah.
And so people have moved there to retire or just
both retirement and second homes.
Okay.
What I call affordable retirement, because people can basically live down there a lot of them live on their Social Security check after their cost of housing. Wow. And, they can live there for about 30% of what it cost them to live in California.
Wow, that I believe.
Yeah. And,
that's where I'm going.
And right here in San Diego, the average home price is a little over $450,000 right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, they can replace the same home down there for a third of that. Wow. So we do market affordable retirement and affordable second home in a beach town. Mm-hmm. The amenities and activities we have, off-roading, hiking. We've got a 10,400-foot mountain range behind us called Mount Diablo. And then the Sea of Cortez, and all of my property basically has about a 4-degree grade back towards the mountain range. So my owners, and with the green spaces we leave between subdivisions, 99% of them have both sea view and mountain view.
Wow.
And so, that's a big selling point in California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And very inexpensive, too.
Yes.
There's no place in California or anywhere else in the States where you can get sea view property like this. And there's nowhere else, and it's so reasonable.
We've got CCNRs and we've got an architectural review committee, and we review everybody's home drawings, and they have to get an approval from the architectural review committee before they build, and we don't allow any heights of more than 18 feet. So we don't block views, and we're very protective of the view corridor.
What's really fun is a lot of the people have their deck on their roof.
Right.
So they go sit on their roof,
yeah.
And they've got this gorgeous view. It's just amazing, the view of the Sea of Cortez.
A lot of them have built outside kitchens up there.
Yes, they have.
Got refrigeration and water and everything, so they do cocktail parties up there. And some of them put barbecue. I mean, they have outdoor refrigeration and stuff, and they actually cook out up there quite a bit, so can entertain.
How fun.
Yeah.
Really different environment.
Yeah. And you have the electric side where you can get all the electricity. And then we also have the golf course side, which has the courses right there. The homes are built around the course. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we have the solar side.
Yes.
So you can do solar, and that's really an up-and-coming thing. And that is where I have my lots, is out in the solar area.
Yeah, we have about 750 homes in the solar. Of the 2,500, we have about 750 are in the solar area. And we're looking at some new things in the future where we do a combination of electric and solar, because now with the Federal Electric Authority called CFE, the Commission Federal Electricidad, now we can put reverse meters on homes. So if you've got some solar and it'll reverse the meter, then basically I've got people that can live everything in their home that's a 110, they live with the solar supply, and then 220 they'll run off electrical supply. But basically with a reverse in the meter, they can wind up without having much of an electric bill.
So is that only in the solar area?
No.
Or all over the ranch?
It's all over the ranch.
Oh,
yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
And the prices, I mentioned a little earlier, are very reasonable. Give our audience an idea of what the costs are.
Well, we build like the condominiums we did that have travertine marble floors and granite counters and GE profiles, equipment in the kitchen, the washer dryer, the condos we provided with appliances in them, and Kohler in the bathroom, and crown moldings and high ceilings and double pane windows. And we build that product for about $115 a square foot. The same product in California around the beach would be close to $800 or more dollars a square foot. Comparatively speaking, we are very reasonable, and you can build a nice house there for anything from $80 a square foot to something really nice for $110, $15, $20 a square foot. Solar lots, are basically a really nice solar lot. It's about $7,500. And an electric lot with underground electric, about $25,000.
Yeah, so that's really great to know, right? If somebody is getting ready to retire or living on their Social Security check, that they have a place that they can go to live where there's medical care, there's golf, there's fishing, there's horseback riding coming.
Yeah, we have.
Right, there's all terrain.
We have
oh my
some
gosh.
stables and a couple that run equestrian center for us. Yeah.
So that sounds beautiful. It sounds like what people dream of retiring to, right? To a nice home with the ocean view, with the amenities that they enjoy, and it sounds beautiful.
Yeah. And we're close proximity, of course, to the U.S. and for all of our vets. Of course, they use vet service, Veteran Hospital here in San Diego. That makes it a little more comforting for them also. They know if they want to get back across the border, it's basically a 2-hour drive.
And the Mexicali border is perfectly safe.
Yeah.
I'm back and forth over that all the time.
Yeah, we're building a third big installment of gates on the Mexicali border. So there'll be 3 entry and exits there in Mexicali.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really great.
So,
we need
that.
that.
Would be one of the things that I've heard people talk about is getting across the border is becoming more and more challenging. In Mexicali, that's not really an issue. I mean, you got here in 4.5 hours, and a lot of that, I'm sure, was driving, not waiting at a gate.
Yeah, well, those of us that are there regularly, we get century passes, kind of a fast pass. So
you just go right through.
Yeah, you're not sitting at the
Great.
border gate very often more than 10 minutes.
So right away, you're not having any trouble commuting back and forth. If you need to, you're 2 hours down and 2 hours back. So it sounds like a beautiful place to think about retiring.
There's a lot of things for kids to do down there. It's amazing. And
Yeah.
that beach, it's just like white sugar. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, we've got folks that went there that now their kids are there and now their grandkids are there.
Oh,
So we've got kind of going on, in some cases, our third generation of the same family, and the kids love the beach, and quite a few of my residents are active in sports fishing.
Great. So let's say you did move down there and you had the grandkids. Is there an opportunity for them to find some way to make money down there, like get a job or to live down there with their parents or their grandparents?
The big thing with the kids, of course, is getting them through school.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so we're very active with the Mexican kids and encouraging them to get through school. We have a foundation that works in that area. Once the younger people come down and they want to find places to work, there's bars, restaurants, and hotels. I think one of the big benefits, if they're outgoing and young enough and everything, they become bilingual and bicultural. Don't have the opportunity to make the same kind of wages, but of course the
Right.
cost of living is a lot different too.
But if you wanted to get down there and retire or think about how could I live here? I'm not ready to retire. What would I need to do? The
Well,
beautiful thing is the internet, right? To
Oh,
do
they can,
business
if they
and-
do business over the internet, yeah, absolutely. My belief is we'll start to see more air service there, which will give us another mode of transportation to bring
Yes.
people down. I think we're going to see a lot more growth with the baby boomers. We got a big bubble of people to talk to about affordable retirement in a beach town. And we've got a lot of retiring military.
So what I'm hearing is now's the time to move. Right now.
This
move.
is a good time to
Or at
come
least
look at us.
Invest right now.
Yeah,
It's time.
Yeah. It is a good time to come talk with us. So we would invite all of you out there to take a few days and be our guest and come see us at El Dorado and in San Felipe. We'd love to have you.
Have you always wanted to own ocean view property in the safety of a warm and wonderful community? Now you can dream big with a small investment. You'll love playing with your children in the shimmering sea of Cortez, or retire in the quiet and warmth of sunny San Felipe and live comfortably on your Social Security. To learn more about El Dorado Ranch and all that it has to offer, call 800-404-2599 from the U.S. and from Mexico, call 686-200-4000. Mention WMAX-TV to receive special additional incentive and developer financing with sea and mountain views starting at $5,000.
I'm curious to know, Lori, what was your biggest aha during the class?
Figuring out how to say what I do in 4 to 5 words. This has been so exciting because now when I network and someone asks me what I do, I can say it so succinctly and very excited to the point that women say, I want to work with you.
Oh, wow. Talk about change. You know, I'm a change agent here. And I tell you, I was resistant. And I did move forward and I did risk only because Shirlene was so gentle and supportive for that process.
I am so excited to be able to reach so many women now, whereas before it was one-on-one. And now I can reach the masses.
The masses. Massive visibility for massive income, right?
Yes.
Linda Lenore is a Feng Shui master with over 30 years of experience and is revered worldwide as a certified green home and office building professional. Linda is known for creating corporate and home environments that stimulate success and soothe the soul. Some of her clients are Adobe Systems, Apple Computer, Bank of the West, the Ritz-Carlton, along with international media celebrities. Linda Lenore's expertise has been featured in the Wall Street Journal, Christian Science Monitor, San Jose Mercury News, Better Homes and Gardens, and many more. As a Feng Shui master, Linda blends ancient intuitive wisdom to interior and landscape design, combined with green and sustainable building practices. She's been recognized as an American Society of Interior Designers Distinguished Speaker and is known for creating the first green sustainable design building practice course entitled Green Feng Shui. Linda's heartfelt passion is to educate, motivate, inspire, and transform her audiences. She is an award-winning lecturer and a featured presenter at home and garden shows, in documentaries, and on the Hallmark Channel and Lifetime Media. Linda's best-selling book, The Gift of the Red Envelope, a guide to designing balance, order, and beauty in your home, has been translated into several languages and has changed the lives of readers worldwide.
This is really wonderful because we have Linda back with us. And I know that everybody wants to know more about Feng Shui and how to make it work in your life. So That's why we asked Linda to come back, because she is a wealth of knowledge as a Feng Shui master. And you just saw how much experience she's had. And she's one of the few women out there that are really working with businesses to make a difference. So Linda, welcome back to the set.
Thank you. We're having so much fun, I can't believe it. But then again, this is one of the things I love to do. It's my passion, and so why not have fun?
That's right. Yeah, and she brought her tools today. And she's also going to share with us some ideas for how we can change the energy in our home, shift I should say, and in our businesses. So Linda,
Excellent.
Share what you brought with you. I can't wait to hear about this.
Okay, well this is a 60 million year old fossil called an ammonite. This particular one comes from Canada, and if you find one, it's worth the price that you're going to pay for it, believe me. This is my retirement. But it has such incredibly good energy. There's things that we can do without it, but I used to go back to a person's house 3, 4, 5 times in order to be able to clean out the energy, because it just would take some time. But something like this is so powerful that it will actually move the energy, the negative energies out, and give people a clean slate to start with.
Nice.
You can do things like that with crystals. I've got a crystal here that I'll also show you, and it has some paraiba in it. So finding beautiful crystals, wait until you find the crystal that actually calls to you, because every crystal has its own energy, and some of them are good and some of them are not. And you also may want to clean the energy. We can do that with some salt water. Make sure that the water is the same temperature as the crystal so you don't break the crystal, so they're both room temperature. But we can clean the crystals and we can bring in crystals, and that will help to elevate the energy within a space. So for instance, when people have clutter, sometimes I do a lot of work with them. I do have some virtual classes that I actually work with them on how to get rid of the clutter.
Nice.
And clutter affects us in 22 different ways.
Oh my God.
Including our health. It mainly is on a spiritual level, the way that I approach it, because when we are dealing with clutter, we have to get into the right energetic space to be able to clear it, to be able to go through papers, to organize things. And if we aren't in touch with it on a spiritual level, it doesn't get cleared or doesn't stay cleared. So sometimes what I suggest for people to do is to get some crystals and to bring them into the house that will raise the vitality of the space, or to play some uplifting music so that literally the vibration is higher. Get a wind chime or get a bell and ring it, so that what you're doing is you're raising the vibration literally through the sound and through the object. And then that makes it easier for people to clean out the clutter.
So if we change the sound, if we change the vibration through sound, you said bells, I've heard rattles.
Wind chimes.
Wind
I've got a
chimes.
singing bowl that I use.
I love that.
And I place that on the floor, because a lot of people know about saging, and saging is great, except it was used to clear the auric field.
Yes.
And then it's also used to clean the teepee. The teepee is a fabric, so it works great on fabrics.
Okay.
It doesn't work on our stucco or our wood floors or our wood framed houses. We need to have something that's an actual vibration that's going to change the vibration of the structure.
Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah.
So I actually have a big singing bowl that I bring in and place on the floor, and I use that. But whatever you have is going to be great. The main thing is to bring in love. So many of the houses that I go into, people are so busy, they don't have time to home care. They don't bless the house. They don't polish the silver that we used to have. They don't polish the wood. They don't love it. I'm always giving it love. And if you have the opportunity to do that in your own home, even if it's just one piece of furniture once in a while, you're starting to bring that love in. It's more than just cleaning, it's loving the place. And by bringing that love in, we start bringing the heart center back into the house. Very often that's what's missing, and that's why people argue, because there's not the love that's in a house. Look at the center part of your house. That equates to the heart area, and it literally equates to your heart. So if there's clutter in that area, you could literally be creating some clogged arteries. Now usually the heart issues take about 5 years to manifest. So most people don't have clutter in a place for 5 years. But anything that's not working, anything that needs to be created or maintained, fixed up because it's broken, address it sooner rather than later, because every part of the house, every system within the house equates to some part of the body. For instance, the heating, air conditioning are your lungs, okay?
Okay.
And the studs are your bones.
Okay.
So everything about the house relates to some part of the human body. You start loving the house, you start loving your body.
Nice.
People lose weight, they gain weight when they need to gain weight, if they're underweight. It helps the whole body to come into balance.
Yeah.
And know that it's being loved and nurtured.
Somebody recommended that I paint my front door red, and that's a Feng Shui move. So can you share about that with us?
Sure. There's two colors that are what we consider the colors that attract the most attention. Red and yellow attracts attention, right?
Right,
yeah.
And what we want to do is to attract attention, good attention to the house. And the front door is actually called the mouth of Qi, the main mouth of energy. So mouth of Qi. That's why we want to have the energy attracted to that front door. And so red really does stand out. That's the color that will stand out the most. Having a whole house red would be too much.
Okay,
but having
it.
the front door red is great.
Yeah.
Now, yellow is a little bit softer color. So you can either have a yellow front door or you could paint the house yellow. Yellow houses actually sell faster than other colors because people are already experiencing joy when they start walking up to the house.
Wow,
That's good to know. So if you have a house that you can't sell, paint it yellow, right?
Peach blossoms, peach trees have to do with relationship. You may want to bring in a picture of a peach tree or may plant that in your backyard. I made my list of 200 qualities that I wanted, and then the 200 qualities that I possess to attract that individual. The gentleman that came into my life, his name's Hillary. Here's the universe. He gave me everything, everything that I wanted was in this gentleman.
Yes.
With the exception of one thing. Hillary is a policeman. And he had a gun. And I'd forgotten to put on my list that I did not want any guns. So the universe said, okay, do you want Mr. Perfect? He comes with a gun, or do you want to keep looking? So the interesting thing is that he grew up in Georgia, and he is a Georgia peach.
Oh, I love it.
Such a beautiful story.
Do you have a home where you wish had more peace, more serenity, was healthy for you, and that you actually had prosperity attracted to you? Most people have homes that have energies within them that prevent them from having these elements in their lives. If you participate in this 4-part webinar on Feng Shui, the practical approaches, you can change the energy yourself very easily to create a home that is happy, healthy, and harmonious.
So, Linda, give us a tip that we can use today, and as a takeaway.
I would give you 2 things very quickly. Work on the clutter. You don't have to get rid of all of it. Even if it's just the junk drawer and you start getting rid of some of the things, the makeup that is outdated, get rid of something so that you're showing the universe that you really are serious about releasing these things that no longer serve you so that you can make space. The universe abhors a vacuum and it wants to fill it. But if there's no space for it, how can it? So getting the clutter started. Okay, get it out ultimately, but get started on it. At least then you know about it. And then the second thing is loving your house. Definitely start loving the house. Create an altar if that feels comfortable to you. Something with just objects that you love or something that has some sacredness to it would be beneficial.
Awesome. Nice. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. And I know our viewers are going to love that.
Okay, well, hey, thank you for joining us today. I know you've learned something, and so have we. It's been really great. Thanks.